It's the most wonderful time of the year for sexism.
You what? No. You and your ilk already ruined Halloween. Get your claws out of Christmas. And fuck off. Fine, if you do a trigger warning, I'll do one. High levels of logic and sarcasm ahead.
Here are the 5 most sexist traditions of the Christmas season.
I'm actually surprised you got 5. With that being said, carry on.
First and most obviously, Santa Claus! He sees you when you're sleeping, but also knows when you're awake, which means, whoa, stalker alert. We're just teaching children that it's totally fine for a guy to know your every waking move in the hopes that you will be good enough for him to give you a present.
I see what you did there. That's Santa's male privilege working, isn't it? That's why he's number 1. With that being said, no, we don't teach children that Santa Claus is a stalker or that it's good to be a stalker. The aspect behind the Santa Claus myth and legend is to teach children about actions and consequences. We teach them that if they are good throughout the month of December, then by the time it's Christmas Day, Santa will have arrived and given them presents while they sleep. But if they are bad throughout the month of December, then Santa will give them a lump of coal in their stocking. That's all it is. It's to teach that there are consequences behind certain actions. And that's not a bad thing, because you can't teach something like that to a 4-year-old with big, huge words and expect them to understand. When you're talking to a child, if they're not like a child prodigy or whatever, it's best to fuel their imagination. And myth, magic, it does that, because children like to see the wonder in the world when they're at that age. So a magical man being pulled on a sleigh by 8 magical flying reindeer, that's pretty magical to a 4-year-old. It's not teaching about being a stalker is, a good thing. I mean, if we're going to get around that aspect, no, I don't think anybody teaches that Santa Claus hacks into the Big Brother system and watches every child's movement. I don't think, no. One example that I can think of right at the top of my head is what my grandma taught me when I was really young, was that Santa Claus has 2 lists. Remember the song? He's making a list, he's checking it twice. Well, Santa Claus had 2 lists. One was the nice list and one was the naughty list. If you were good, then your name appeared on the nice list. But if you're bad, then your name appeared on the naughty list. He didn't see the children anyway, just the name appeared on a list. That was pretty magical for me. It was like, oh, my name pops up if I'm good on a certain list. That's pretty cool. Again, today we've got the Big Brother system, as I said, watching our every move, so better be careful there. But no, Santa Claus is not a stalker, as you put it. But the teaching behind Santa Claus is to teach children about that there are consequences behind certain actions. And that's it.
Otherwise, he's gonna be all like, well, what were you wearing?
Why the fuck would Santa even care? For fuck's sake.
And also, can we mention that whole I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus thing? Yeah, he comes into your house and he apparently is gonna sweep your mom off her feet and smooch her, because of course, in today's society, any woman, totally would make out with any guy who has lots of presents to give.
Okay, remember that thing that I said earlier about fueling children's imagination? this is part of it. If the parents want to fuel the imagination of their child by believing in Santa Claus a bit more, then the dad will dress up as Santa in anticipation for their child to come running down the stairs to try and find Santa Claus. It's the same thing with mince pie, leaving out mince pies or cookies with a glass of milk and a carrot for the reindeer, and then when you wake up, there are 2 bites taken out of the mince pies, a drink of milk is gone, and the carrot's gone. It's the same thing as that. It's fueling imagination. Just with this sort of thing, maybe the parents are a bit too late in placing the presents down and everything, so the child sees mommy kissing Santa Claus, possibly under the mistletoe, but it is generally the child seeing mummy and daddy kiss or mummy and daddy make out, you know. Oh my god, but seriously, parents will do that sort of thing for their child, you know. But to go on to, women kissing guys for presents in today's society, there is such a thing as gold diggers, you know, where women will actively go into a relationship for nothing more than the money and the presents and the gifts that they get showered with, because the man might be infatuated with this woman, but all the woman wants is money. You know, gold diggers do exist.
But I do like gifts, don't get me wrong. Speaking of women, number 2 on the list, Mrs. Santa Claus. Hello, first of all, we don't even know her first name.
Fine, if you're that bothered about it, I'll give her a name right now. Helga. Well, she looks like a Helga in most pictures to me. But Grand Cthulhu King, Omegon, added this link in his description, and it's just a quick little answer thing, but they say that if you go back to who Santa Claus originally was, being that of Kris Kringle, and they say that Kris Kringle married Jessica, maybe there you go, maybe you like Jessica more than Helga, but I don't know. If you want to name it that badly, Helga. There you go.
What is Mrs. Santa Claus' role? Of course, staying at home. She doesn't get to leave the North Pole.
Okay, you don't know what Mrs. Claus does. She could be head chef for all we know. With all the baking that she does, I wouldn't be surprised. But she could be the head of girls' toy productions. Ever think about that? Or what if she runs the North Pole? What if she looks after all the elves and stuff like that? What if she's the CEO of the North Pole? And for all we know, Santa Claus is just a glorified delivery boy. You know? We don't know these things. We don't even know if she's left the North Pole or not. Because they do everything in secret. I mean, we don't even know the address. We just know North Pole. And that's it. But, yeah, what's wrong with Mrs. Claus as being a stay-at-home wife? No, what's so wrong with that? I mean, what if she just wants to stay home, and after Santa Claus comes back from a long night, she's there, waiting for him with a cup of hot cocoa. That's it, she could be head cocoa maker. That's a very difficult job. You've got to get the consistency just right, and just the right amount of marshmallows too. You know, what if she's head cocoa maker? But, you know, and she could be there with a hot cocoa for him, and she could listen to how his night went. Were there any troubles? Could he fit down the chimney or not? Is he getting annoyed by the fact that there are literally no more chimneys to go down anymore? So he has to go through the front door sometimes. You know? How did the reindeer? Maybe she wants to hear all that. You know? There's nothing bad about being a housewife. I mean, if I have the choice, if I ever meet a man that I fall in love with and everything, and you know, we want to be together and that, if I had the choice, I'm doubtful that I ever will, but if I had the choice, I wouldn't mind being a housewife. I would I mean, my talents go from cooking to cleaning. I mean, that's it. You know? But after a long day, when my partner or my husband comes back, I wouldn't mind just listening to how his day went and have a hot meal for him, or if I'm not feeling too good, it's takeout. And I'd, give him a shoulder rub if need be, and I wouldn't mind being a housewife. I don't know why feminism looks upon being a housewife or a stay-at-home mother so sinfully. Like, oh my God, you're a stay-at-home wife. How dare you? You're a traitor to the gender. Why? What's so wrong about it? Literally a woman making a choice that she would stay home, look after the house and home, children, if there ever would be, and the man would work. The man would provide. Yeah, I know. I've probably got a very 1950s brain in me, but I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't even see anything wrong with, like, the man being the stay-at-home husband and the woman working if that's what they want. Seriously. But yeah, don't go around mocking head cocoa makers. It's a very difficult job.
Number 3, Christmas stockings. Taking them down from the mantle, because guess what? We get stockings all based on this lore involving St. Nicholas going to this poor guy's house, and he had 3 daughters, and he was like, I'm so poor, these girls are never gonna get married, I'm gonna have to sell them into slavery because women are either slaves or wives in the time that I'm living in. Santa Claus was all like, oop-a-doop-a-doop, I'm gonna give you some money for a dowry. They left the money in their stockings or whatever, and now we have Christmas stockings to remind us that, hey, you know what, women, guess what? Life is a forced choice between slavery and marriage.
If that story's true, then I got something completely different out of that. I actually got one of the meanings of Christmas out of that story, which is be kind and helpful to your fellow man or fellow person. If we're going off by the time period of Saint Nick, then if this man was really poor and he was concerned about his daughters, he would want his daughters to be married instead of going into slavery, because in marriage at least she would be provided for, she would be sheltered, she would be protected, and unlike that of being a slave. So maybe yes, he was worried for his daughters because he was so poor. And Saint Nick or Santa basically said, right, I'll help you. And he did. He helped the man give the dowry. And maybe this man was so poor he couldn't even afford an axe to go out and get a Christmas tree. So Santa couldn't leave the dowry under the Christmas tree, so put them in the stockings instead. We don't know because we don't know the facts. We weren't there, as it were. But just as many traditions throughout our culture, if this story is true, that has been lost. People have forgotten about that. We don't associate stockings with that anymore. I probably go out and ask anybody, what do you associate Christmas stockings with? They'll probably say something to put chocolate in. Okay? Because that's all Christmas stockings are used for now, or possibly an extra present here or there. So, yeah.
If puppies are in stockings, though, that is okay. Number 4, creepy Christmas songs. Yeah, I'm using a profanity on this video because some Christmas carols get downright creepy. Maybe it's cold outside. It should just never, ever be sung. Lyrics: I really can't stay, but baby it's cold outside. I really gotta go away, but baby it's cold outside. And on and on and on, to where she's like, seriously, I've gotta go, please let me leave. And he's like, I don't think so, cause you're pretty sweet and I wanna see you naked before too long. And her like, seriously, this is a creepy song. What?
yeah. In the context of a song, I'll begrudgingly agree it is creepy. But what, in my opinion, I believe that this would have been better in a musical because if you look at it, it's more or less like a conversation between two people. So if we were like live on stage, and we see the two actors playing out the scene, that could add context to the actual song itself, and it might be less creepy that way. But as a song, yes, it's creepy, no matter who sings what. I'd say the man is singing "Baby It's Cold Outside," but the woman is singing "No, No, No." It's so creepy because there's many things implied. One of the lines is, "What have you put in my drink?" Yeah, implied. But it's a bit creepier when the woman is singing "Baby It's Cold Outside" and the man is singing "No, No, No." And I actually get a bit of a shiver, or even more of a shiver when I listen to that version, because it's more relevant today. And that's really creepy. Oh wait, according to feminists, women can't rape, men can't get raped, and all that bullshit.
And finally, Christmas trees. Because, and I have nothing to back this up, but they're clearly phallic symbols.
I'm trying not to scream. You just put this in so you could round this list up to 5 sexy things because you weren't content with 4. No, you just wanted to put this in to make it 5 sexy things about Christmas, and you went, Christmas trees, they kind of look like a dick. First off, the tree can't help how it's grown or how it grows. Nature designed it that way, the tree can't help it. Second of all, that to me proves you've got too much dick on the brain. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that would surprise me less is if he chose candy canes. I mean, look at that shape. It's so suggestive. But Christmas trees. Like with that stocking story, which I'm still sort of doubting, the tradition of Christmas trees has faded and been forgotten over time. But if we were to look back at the origins, or the pagan origins of the Christmas tree, then what it is around the time of the winter solstice, which is around about 21st, 22nd of December, people bring the trees and decorate them into their homes to celebrate life, to celebrate hope. Why? Because it was an evergreen. To them, where everything else was dead or dying or falling asleep in nature, the evergreen lived on. It was a hardy tree. And to them, this was magical. It was a sign that life can still go on, even in this darkest of times. So the Christmas tree was brought into a home to celebrate life, spring, or the hope for spring. I mean, you go to Egypt, I think ancient Egypt, and they brought in evergreen palm tree or palm leaves, and that was to celebrate life's victory over death. I'll put a link below in the description, but that was what that was the origin, the pagan origin of the Christmas tree. It was to celebrate hope, life. And you just cut all that out because to you, with no evidence whatsoever, Christmas trees look like a dick. So it must be a very pretty dick with all that tinsel and baubles and everything, but it looks like a dick to you. The only thing I'm going to say is you've got too much dick on the brain. Is that it? You probably would have been less insane if you chose candy canes.
That's right, right? Just hear the sleigh bells ringling ting.
No more singing. I'm tone deaf after the last session you did. No more singing from you. Other than that, guys, comment your thoughts below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. Love to hear from you. Bye, guys.